Good morning, dear children. Today we are here on the eve of New Year 2021. And this last year, 2020, the COVID year, have given lot of experience to we all. You know that though it was the very much pandemic situation last year, but it have given lot of things to learn also. And by those all experiences in this 2021, I'm wishing you all a very, very happy new year, for your great success in this year, whatever the examination you are going to appear. So today I'm here, myself SP Tiwari. In the previous video I have introduced myself, and I'm here today with this two topic what is I could not cover in the previous video, and that is what mechanism of breathing and regulation of breathing mechanism. Regulatory mechanism means that regulation of breathing mechanism. As I told you earlier also in that previous video, that breathing, this breathing is what? It is simply inhalation of oxygen rich air and exhalation of carbon dioxide rich air. So it is being completed in two processes, that is inspiration and expiration. Inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is the process of taking oxygenated air, oxygen rich air from atmosphere to respiratory organ, okay. If I will discuss here about respiratory organ, different, though in human it is lung, but in different organism, right from unicellular to mammals. If I'll discuss the respiratory organ, you can see all the unicellular organism, like amoeba, paramecium, whatever. So these organism, they have simple cell like this, and in their surrounding the moisture are there. Moisture is necessary for them to alive. So whatever the oxygen is there present in their surrounding, oxygen, that can easily diffuse inside, and the carbon dioxide produced inside their cell can easily diffuse out. The reason is what? The partial pressure difference. And what is the barrier here? The cell membrane. So this is the cell membrane that allow the oxygen to comes in and carbon dioxides to go out. The pressure difference is required. That is the partial pressure difference. I told you partial pressure, that is the individual pressure generated by the gas in air, that is called partial pressure, are inside our lungs. So this is way. This is about the unicellular organism. Now what is that? Cell membrane. Next you see, if you will see about the respiratory organ in unicellular organism. If you will come in higher organisms like in poriferans. Poriferans are sponges. They also live in water. So in them also, that all the sponges are having cellular level of organization. Though they are multicellular, but their body is made up by cell. So simply, just like the unicellular organisms, in them also the cell membrane is the respiratory structure, and simple diffusion, very simple diffusion, you can say simple diffusion. I think you everybody know, that is the movement of anything from its higher concentration, high potential, high pressure to low pressure area or low concentration area. And the gradient is required. Gradient is what? The difference in the concentration or the pressure or potential. So movement of any substance from region of higher concentration, high pressure, high potential to lower region, that is called diffusion. Okay. And if you will be talking about osmosis and diffusion, how difference? So osmosis is what? This is the movement of solvent molecule, that is the water molecule. Okay. But here is the barrier required, and this barrier is semi-permeable membrane, that you also can say plasma membrane or cell membrane. Okay. So if this is the region A and this is the region B, and here the plasma membrane is the barrier. So you will see that this is suppose the solute molecule here, this is solute molecule, and this is the solute molecule. Here you see solute molecules are very less, and here the water is there. This is a kind of solution, okay, and this is what? This is the plasma membrane, okay. So movement of water molecule from higher water concentration to lower water concentration through semi-permeable membrane, this is known as osmosis. So you see in this solute are less, means solvent are more. So its water potential is more here, and this solution B have water potential less. So if it is suppose B2 and this is B1, so B1 is W1. Water potential of solution A is more than water potential of solution B, and hence water molecule always passes from higher water concentration to lower water concentration, and that is called osmosis. But in case of diffusion, there is no need of this type of the plasma membrane barrier. Things are always moving from higher concentration to lower concentration, or higher potential to lower potential. That is called simple diffusion. So in case of breathing mechanism, you know that oxygen rich air transfer from high partial pressure to lower partial pressure region, and that is from atmosphere to lungs or any respiratory organ. So I told you that in case of poriferance, cell membrane is the, you can say, the barrier across which the gaseous exchange take place. So oxygen rich air enter inside the cell when the partial pressure of oxygen outside is more. And when the carbon dioxide produced inside the cell, carbon dioxide will be again simply go out. Now I told you that this is the cell. So if the carbon dioxide is produced inside the cell during cellular respiration, so carbon dioxide pressure will be increases, and hence it will be diffuses out. So like that. So now I can't say that there is the osmosis of carbon dioxide. No, carbon dioxide is a kind of solute, you may say. It is a gaseous solute. So movement of solvent molecule is called osmosis. So again you see here, I talk about the sponges, I talk about the unicellular organism, and if you will come in higher organism above poriferance, what will you find? That after suppose this is the unicellular organism, this is the poriferance. Again if you will see about the coelentrates like you can say hydra, brain coral, mandrina, whatever the organisms are there in the coelentrata, they all, and even you can say that is the platyhelminthes, in which tapeworm is there, tapeworm, liver fluke, these all organisms are there. And if you will see about the Aschelminthes, what will you find? That these all Aschelminthes means organisms, they are parasitic organisms like Ascaris, like Wuchereria. They all live inside the body of, suppose if the host also. So in their surrounding the moisture is necessary. Moisture is already there inside the body. So oxygen can easily diffuse from the higher partial pressure to lower partial pressure through their, you can say that skin. Likewise in case of annelids also, annelids leaches are there, Nereis is there, earthworm is there. So these organisms live in the moist habitat, and oxygen diffuses through their moist skin. Skin is very much required to be moist, because oxygen dissolve in that moisture, and then it will be moving across the membrane, and hence it, you can say, the moist skin. Moist in every case you can say moist skin, and this respiration also you can say cutaneous respiration. क्यूटैनियस को हिंदी में हम लोग बोल सकते हैं त्वचीय, त्वचा से respiration. So cutaneous respiration. Okay, moist skin is necessary. If you will keep the earthworm in dry condition, then oxygen cannot diffuse across the membrane and earthworm die. Okay, so moisture is very much necessary. Again you see, that is why you will be able to see the earthworm in the rainy season. In the other dry season they go for hibernation, or they go in the moist habitat somewhere. Okay, So this is all about annelids, and if you'll come above after annelids, then you'll find that is the cockroach, you can say arthropods. Okay, in arthropods you will find that cockroach and all the insects are there. So what will you find that in the insect's body, no, there is the tracheal system. If you'll see, this is the cockroach like this, or any insects, then body is segmented, their body is segmented, and in each segment you will find the pore is there. This is the pore, no? And this pore is known as spiracle. This pore is known as spiracle. Okay, and this spiracle is connected with a tube-like structure that is called trachea. I am making like this way. This is the spiracle like this. From here there is a formation of this tube-like structure, and this tube is known as trachea, and this tube further branch into the fine branches like this, no? So you can say tracheoles. This is called tracheoles, and then this tracheole further branches, okay, tracheoles, and then further branching of this tracheoles like this, ultimately connecting with the cell, and these are the cells. So through this tubular system, the oxygen enter inside the cell, and after cellular respiration, when carbon dioxide produced, again the carbon dioxide returned by the same pathway. So you can say this respiratory organ in arthropods is the tracheal system, okay, or the tubular system you can say, because these are the tubes through which the oxygen is coming in, oxygen rich air is coming, and that is going inside the cell, and after oxidation of the food, carbon dioxide produced will be returning back by the same pathway. But if you talk about the aquatic insects, then there is the book gills, gill-like structure, book having so many pages. The same way the gills are also having so many pages like the opening through which the oxygen can easily diffuse inside. Okay, if we'll talk about the scorpion, then there is the book lungs in their abdominal region. There are in each and every segment a pair of book lung is there, and in book lung is also, book lung structure is like this. You can say this is the book lung like this, and here you will find that why it is called book, because these are this type of the structure, just like the pages in your book are there likewise, and through these opening the oxygen rich air enter inside and carbon dioxide rich air go out. So this is all about the arthropods. After that, if you will see about the mollusca, mollusca जिसमें कि पाइला, सीपी, pearl oyster, that all organisms, even higher organisms are also in mollusca like loligo, octopus and all. So, but you'll find that mostly the organisms are having gills. In mollusk, what you will find, mollusca phylum, all are having the calcareous scale because their body is very soft. Mollusks are having very soft body, so they are having calcareous cell covering inside. They have gills, gills for respiration. And if you'll see in echinodermates, so इकाइनोडर्मेटा के अंदर रहने वाले ऑर्गेनिज्म को बोलते हैं इकाइनोडर्मेट्स, लाइकवाइज मोलस्का के अंदर रहने वाले ऑर्गेनिज्म को बोलते हैं मोलस्क्स, आर्थ्रोपोडा में रहने वालों को बोलेंगे आर्थ्रोपोड्स, एनिलिडा में रहने वालों को बोलेंगे एनिलिड्स, लाइकवाइज. सो इकाइनोडर्मेटा एग्जांपल्स इज स्टारफिश, होलोथीरिया एंड मेनी मोर. So they are having, if you will see about the starfish, so in them also the simple diffusion is there because the body is there inside the water, and the water enter through inside the body through the tubular system, and when water reaches the cells are directly taking bath in all those water, oxygen can easily diffuse inside. So just simple diffusion. Okay, carbon dioxide also can go out by just simple diffusion method. Okay, and if we will talk about the cardates, even in the hemicardata, one organism, hemicardata, in that one organism is there that is called Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus is the example in this, and that is also having gills for respiration. Okay, in Amphioxus, that is the protocardate, cephalocardate organism, also the gills are there. And if you will be coming in chordates, in chordates the feces are there. Very first is the feces, and in feces also there is the gills for respiration. Okay, gills for respiration. Though the gills are having different way, like in case of cartilaginous fishes, the gill slits are there, but in case of bony fishes, there is the gills having the gill cover. But gills is there, which is richly supplied by the blood, and this blood will be taking oxygen from the gills into the body cells, and again that blood will return bringing the carbon dioxide back to the gills, and there from the water, inside the water, the carbon dioxide diffuses and go out. Clear? So this is the gills. Again, if you will go up after fishes, so that is the amphibians. Amphibians. So in amphibians like frog, toad, like in them organism, what happened in their larval stage, since they lay egg in water, so in their larval stage you will find the larva develop inside the water. So tadpole larva, I think you all have heard, tadpole larva of frog, having what? Gills. Respiratory organ is what? Gills. Gills for respiration. Okay, but when this larva develop into adult, then they develop lungs. They develop lungs. Okay, so in the adult stage you will find, in adult stage they do respiration by the two means. When they are inside the water, when they are inside water, or when they are in hibernation stage. Hibernation is the stage of winter sleep. Inside the soil they usually they pass their all winter time, because they are cold blooded animals. They cannot maintain their body temperature constant like mammals and birds. So in order to save their life from the extreme cold weather, they go for hibernation. So that very time they do respiration by skin, that is the moist skin. Okay, inside the water body, or during this hibernation when they are inside the soil, by the moist skin. But when they are on the land, they do respiration by lungs. Okay, and again if we will talk respiratory organ, the organisms, higher organisms above the amphibians, that is the reptiles. You can say this is what? Reptiles. Then all the reptiles means the lizards, snake, that all. So reptiles. Then after that you will see birds. Birds को हम लोग aves भी बोलते हैं. That class of the birds is called aves. And then mammals. Okay, mammals. Those who are having mammary gland. All the mammals. Even we are also in mammals. So they everyone are the developed organism, and they are having lungs for respiration. So these are the various respiratory organ. And the funda is what? That each and every organism, even plants also, very good very big confusion in children are there, that plants takes oxygen only during night. And they give carbon dioxide during night, and daytimes they give oxygen and they take carbon dioxide. It's very true. But it is not true that plants do not need oxygen during day. Why? Because plants, why not take oxygen then? If the plants, actually respiration is a 24-hour requirement. And without oxygen, the food cannot oxidize and cannot ATP generate. ATP cannot generate. So for the generation of ATP, oxidation of glucose is required, and for that oxygen is required for all living organisms, whether it is autotrophs, plants also. Okay. So this oxygen, why not plants take during day? Because during photosynthesis, oxygen is the gas released as a byproducts. Oxygen released as a byproducts. So this oxygen produced is more than their requirement. So they fulfill their requirement very first, and the surplus oxygen they release in the atmosphere, just like farmer. Farmer is producing suppose 40 quintal rice, and his consumption in the family is only 10 quintal. So remaining 40 quintal is sell. The same way plants also do. But in night, why they need to take oxygen from the atmosphere? Because there is no light in night, and due to absence of light, photosynthesis does not happen, hence oxygen does not produce, but oxygen is required, so that oxygen can be fulfilled by inhalation from the surrounding. Okay, so this is all about the respiratory organ. And now the breathing, I was here with this topic today, breathing. So breathing is what? The process of inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so here you see the breathing mechanism.